Hey everybody, welcome to the part 3 of the Astro-Vaastu Principles study. Now we speak of directions, as you can see. So there is the Kendras, the east, west, north and south. Okay, east being Aries. I'll talk in terms of Kalpurusha Lagna, so keep up with me here. East is Aries, north is Cancer, west is Libra and the south is Capricorn. These are the Kendras, or the foundational pillars of your chart. Speaking from the Jyotish perspective, if planets and points are placed in this quadrant within north, south, east, west in your chart, it plays a dominant role in all areas of your life. All the trikonas are different. Trikonas are the ones which are outside of this quadrant. Okay, let's speak of directions. Now we have told of the main 4 directions. Let us speak of northeast, southwest, southwest over here. Even this is southwest. I've missed that part. Okay, and then there's a northwest and a southeast. Now why I have labeled these both as northeast, although from the compass point of view over here it's northeast, east, northeast and all that stuff, but from a Jyotish perspective it is taken as northeast. In a similar way, northwest also directions, these both houses 5th and 6th are taken as northwest direction of your house. Look, when we talk space we have to speak directions. Your house is a directional orientation in space. The bedroom is in one particular direction of your house when spoken of from the center of the house. Okay, so is your bathrooms and toilets, so is your kitchen, so is your bedrooms, master bedroom and guest bedroom and so on, so is the living room, so is your balcony or the porch. Okay, so all are directionally placed. We are trying to map your chart to the directional orientation of the house itself. So we are essentially trying to do what in Astro-Vaastu? We are trying to match how you are living. Is your chart aligned with your home, with your living space? Or you can extend this principle also to offices. I shall see that much later on. We are covering just the basic principles here. So Astro-Vaastu and directions, how your natal chart occupies physical space. This diagram is not just showing directions, it is showing how your karma distributes itself in space, in your house. Every direction is a field of consciousness where specific planets want to operate or are best to operate. If the space supports them, life flows. We're talking about living spaces. If the space contradicts them, life resists. This is why I say be very careful when you're doing this kind of analysis. That's why I've broken down into many parts. You can revisit them whenever you want, just to recap principles. East is the axis of initiation. Once again, think Kalpurusha Lagna, think Aries. Sun as Lagna, as identity, as life force. Sun rises in the east. East is where you begin. In your natal chart, whatever planet dominates your identity is sitting in your ascendant, in your first house. Ascendant is there in the first house. When East is aligned, confidence feels natural. Health improves without effort. Leadership emerges organically. You wake up ready for life. When East is disturbed, low vitality despite good habits, fear of starting things, constant self-doubt. Let's say Saturn in the first house, constant self-doubt. Delays at starting point of everything. The truth here being, if Sun or Lagna struggles, your East is blocked in your house and you are living in a permanent karmic dawn without sunrise. So you're stuck there. The objective is not to have a misaligned chart with you, whatever you're living in, your apartment, your house. Okay, we are trying to align it. The whole effort of Astro-Vaastu is to align you properly to your own chart. Take precautionary measures wherever malefics are sitting in your chart. For example, the south is the axis of karma. Mars being effort, discipline, survival energy. South in this case being Capricorn. South is where the action burns. It's where your public visibility is there. This is the direction where karma becomes physical effort. Capricorn is the house, ultimate house of effort. When South is aligned, hard work gives results. Assertiveness without aggression. People tend to get aggressive if their needs are not being met. What is your alignment? Everybody has an alignment. Everybody has a chart. Everybody has all 9 planets, all 27 nakshatras. The question only then remains is a question of alignment. When South is aligned, physical stamina increases, career momentum builds steadily. When South is distorted, anger or burnout issues, laziness or fear of responsibility occurs. Mars problems are rarely anger issues. They are more about drive and logic. Mars is a highly logical planet. We have spoken of this many times before. They are misdirected action issues, usually reinforced by a chaotic South in your house. The West, the axis of time and results. The West is Libra. Saturn is exalted, delays, maturity, consequences. West is where time speaks back to you. It is the sunset, but I'll deal with the times of the day in the next one. This is where your past actions mature into results. When West is aligned, patience develops naturally, income stabilizes, long term plans mature. Remember, Saturn exalted means everything long term, steady, patient. Get your ducks in a row first. Stop fighting time. When the West is blocked, endless waiting, stagnant projects, depression without cause, feeling stuck in life, these are the resultant. From an Astro-Vaastu perspective, broken clocks. Clock is a karaka of time. It indicates time. Watches and clocks. Be very careful about these placements because that portion will get delayed. Storing junk of all types, Rahu. Unused items in the West literally confuse your Saturn in your chart. Time loses rhythm. Now we speak of North, Cancer, axis of intelligent and wealth flow. Home is where your wealth should flow, isn't it? Ultimately, you bring all the wealth and it just poof, vanishes. What's the point of that? Mercury, mind, strategy, and resources. North governs how you think and earn. It's also Moon, by the way. This is where ideas convert into material flow. When North is aligned, you have a clear thinking pattern in your house. When you're in your house, you make good financial decisions. You have a calm nervous system, Moon. Learning feels effortless. When North is polluted, anxiety and overthinking, financial blocks, mental restlessness, knowledge without application. The truth here being, a strong Mercury cannot compensate for a cluttered North. Moon, more so Moon. The mind needs space to move. So if you put more junk, Saturnian things like clocks, or if you put shoes in your northern direction, you have a blocked North. Northeast, the axis of meaning and guidance, Jupiter. And this will tie more when I put the Vastu Purusha Mandala up in later slides. Northeast is why you do what you do. This is the most sensitive direction in Astro-Vaastu. Northeast, when it's pure, life feels guided, decisions feel aligned, faith without blind belief, calm intuition, all the Jupiterian aspects play in. When the Northeast is disturbed, confusion despite knowledge, you have a disconnect spiritually. Speak of disconnect spiritually. Most of the civilization is disconnected. Fortunately, the vibrations of the earth are rising now, and more consciousness will develop around this. Anxiety without reason, loss of direction in life. You cannot think your way out of a blocked Northeast. Very important. Thinking has a very limited scope when it comes to Jyotish. Mercury has a very limited scope. It's an absorbent planet. It's a mimicry. More wisdom, and all wisdom, in fact, comes from Jupiter and Saturn. This zone responds only to clarity and lightness. Directions of the house. Southeast now. The axis of desire and transformation, the 11th house, Southeast. Sorry, Southeast will become what? Let me just check again. Southeast, yes, exactly. Pisces and Aquarius, you might say. Okay? So what does that mean? Southeast is when Southeast is balanced, healthy pleasures, financial flow, harmonious relationships, creative expression. Now Southeast is both Aquarius and Pisces. Now typically a Jyotish will tell you 12th house is house of loss, 11th house is loss of gain. Is the house of gain. Okay. But Astrologically, even speaking, this is where people confuse it a lot. Aquarius feeds into Pisces, isn't it? You can only give what you have. How can a beggar give anything what he doesn't? He doesn't have anything. So Aquarius and Pisces are linked with one another. When Southeast is disturbed, you have excess indulgence, too much of excessive materialistic pleasures, Aquarius. Guilt around pleasure, relationship instability, financial leakages. Astro-Vaastu truth here being Venus problems are not moral problems, they are fire mismanagement problems. Southwest. What is the axis of Southwest, if we speak of it? Well, Southwest is Dharma, isn't it? The ninth house and the eighth house. Transformation and Dharma here. Now we speak of that. It is governed by Rahu, inertia, control, deep karma. Scorpio. Ketu even. Southwest holds what you cling to. This is the heaviest karmic zone. People speak of Scorpio, but you have to speak of Scorpio and Sagittarius, the 8th and the ninth house, in the same tone when you talk of Astro-Vaastu. When Southwest is anchored, you have stability in life. 8th house is instability, sudden transformations. You must take care of this part of your house. Career grounding, emotional security happens, protection from chaos. Any transformation is very, very chaotic. It is not structured. Everything happens in a random pace. Scorpio, it's governed by Ketu. Random changes in life. When Southwest is weak, you have sudden losses. There you go. Instability, anxiety about future, control issues. Rahu thrives on chaos. A weak Southwest gives Rahu unlimited freedom to throw all kinds of spanner in your works, so to speak. The Northwest. What is Northwest direction? It's the 5th and the 6th house, as you can see over here. Yeah? So let's see what's the Northwest. The moon, change, people, transitions. Northwest governs flow and adaptability. When Northwest is healthy, you have smooth transitions, emotional balance, healthy social life, good sleep cycles. When Northwest is disturbed, you have restlessness, relationship instability, mood swings, insomnia. Look, when you talk of creativity, it has the gain from the peace of the mind. 4th goes into the 5th. If that is disturbed, you have loss of creativity. You have loss of sleep. Moon stands for sleep. Moon absorbs the space. If the space is unstable, emotions will be too. The center, the Brahmastan now, the Ketu, the silence, the integration. The center, if it's blocked, none of the directions will work properly. Life feels scattered and spiritual exhaustion appears. This is the thing for the directional alignment. Now, once again, you have to see the axis. Let's see the planets briefly. If I have Rahu Ketu here, in this axis, let me expand this guy and twist him. Let's say it is sitting in northeast and going towards southwest. This axis over here. Then you have to take care really not to store junk in the northeast. You don't want Rahu creating all kinds of mess in northeast. Your head will feel blocked. Okay? Let's take another example. Let's say if it is sitting in southeast, southwest directions. Let's say this. Southeast, northwest, because it's 180 degrees apart. Now you have to take care of Mr. Rahu being placed in 11th house. That means it is a lot to do with tons of greed. Don't put junk here. Rahu tends to accumulate junk wherever he goes. It's a junkyard. You will find typically if you have Rahu in the southeast, you will put a lot of junk in that direction in the house. It's ironical that people tend to live their charts. Anyway, we are talking of corrective factors. Same thing with planets now. If planets or points are placed in any one of these directions, more dominated, conjunct, or aspected by, you need to take care of those particular planets. Okay? And then you will have a sort of a alignment which is more harmonious. I shall see you in the next. Take care.